The NELK boys are some of the richest and highest earning YouTubers in the game right now. But if you search for the highest earning YouTubers, you won't see them listed. NELK makes no money off of AdSense or ad revenue, and no money off of sponsorships or brand deals. They created their entire financial empire from their line of merchandise. Using fundamental principles of marketing in a strategically unique way, they outperform the competition and are second to none in their respective space. Now, although a small bit of luck is a factor, there's a science behind how and why their merchandise is so successful. In this video, we're gonna go over some of the tactics they used and how much they really make. And just before we jump in, guys, do me a quick favor and like the video and subscribe to the channel down below. It helps me out a bunch, even though a whole bunch of people aren't actually subscribed. Those of you that subscribed, thank you. I really appreciate it. And those of you who haven't,
I forgive you, but I never forget.
Wow. Now, I'm not going to document NELK's rise to fame and their come up, but to provide some context, from a high level standpoint, they were a group of high school pranksters based out of Mississauga, Ontario, Canada.
Mississauga.
They filmed local pranks and hilariously entertaining videos.
Let's go!
The face of the NELK brand predominantly belongs to Kyle Forgard and Jesse Sebastiani. Now, there were other members involved, but they departed from the company for various reasons, although some did return. Now, due to the provocative and sometimes controversial nature of NELK's videos, NELK had a hard time earning any kind of livable wage off of YouTube AdSense. In fact, they encountered a number of issues with YouTube, but it boils down to this. YouTube is a business. If your videos aren't advertiser friendly, then they have no incentive to push and promote your videos. And of course, even if you do partake in the YouTube partner program, you won't make anything significant. Now, with no brand deals or sponsorships in sight, the NELK boys turned to their fans for support by creating a line of merchandise. Now, this was the first display of NELK's true 1000 fans. These fans showed their immense support to the company by purchasing merch so that the boys could continue creating content. Over time, the catalog of NELK's merch grew, along with the company, the scale of the pranks, and their bottom line. NELK fans are unlike any other fans. Their merchandise gets sold out like that.
And it's gone.
It's actually insane how devoted their fans are. Now, utilizing the same approach as Supreme, NELK doesn't constantly produce merch, but rather creates a line, drops it at a certain date, and then never recreates or restocks the same item ever again. This creates scarcity, which helps boost the value of their merchandise. When something is rare or scarce, it inflates the value of that item simply because it can't be found anywhere else. This scarcity is one of the primary elements responsible for the appreciating value of the merchandise. This also makes their merchandise a potential investment opportunity. Another thing to note is that NELK creates merchandise based around the whole full send mantra. Full send wasn't coined by NELK, but it has become more popular and evolved into a movement due to NELK's influence. With full send being a movement, as well as the merch drops being exclusive, scarce, and potential investment opportunities, fans rush to pick up the items as soon as possible. This creates urgency. Urgency further inflates the value of the items, which leads to more urgency.
Because it's a circle.
Yeah. This rush for the merchandise allowed NELK to continuously expand their catalog. Now, to give some context, these guys had 245,000 visitors on their website just minutes before their drop went live. All of them were waiting in line so that the second the drop went live, they could quickly rush and buy their items. And these aren't cheap items either. Some of their hoodies would sell for over $200. A Zippo lighter with full send on it would sell for $100. A crowbar with full send on it sells for $50. A $175 beer pong full send table. But hang on, it's not just scarcity and urgency that inflates the value of these items.
But wait!
Buying the merch meant that you are actively now part of the Full Send community. Seeing someone wear Armed and Hammered while you are wearing a NELK Boys sweater creates this sense of camaraderie. When two individuals who don't really know each other but recognize the clothing that they're wearing and silently give each other the nod of approval, that fosters a sense of community and strengthens that community by allowing these individuals to feel like they are in on something. By the way, this isn't just a phenomenon exclusive to NELK. Creating a community around your brand is the hallmark of all businesses. Every business strives for that. Harley-Davidson is infamous for their genius in branding and community development, leading to the success of the company. Now, these tactics are really effective. People are usually searching for a sense of belonging and community. And if you can foster and facilitate that through a brand, that is a recipe for success. Now, based off of their ever-growing and expanding catalog, as well as the generous markups on all the items, the NELK Boys are making a large sum of money.
Pay me my money!
Let's take a look at their website. And we'll click on a random sweater. So here we have a $70 black hoodie. It comes in sizes small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, and 3XL. Now, assuming they carry 50 units of each size for each sweater, that would mean 50 black hoodies sold at $70 is $3,500 generated in revenue. $3,500, $7,000, $14,000, $21,000. $21,000 in revenue generated off of one sweater. And then we have the green color and then the orange color. So that is $21,000, $42,000, $63,000. $63,000, assuming they carry 50 units of each size for each sweater. And then we have more sweaters and t-shirts and duffel bags and basketballs and all sorts of stuff. Now, we don't have the exact numbers for how many units of each item they actually carry, so I used the modest 50 as a ballpark. This number could be lower or it could very well be much higher. Another way to ballpark how much they generate in gross revenue is by taking the 245,000 customers that were waiting in line for the drop and assuming a converting $30 on average per user. That would imply north of $6 million in generated revenue. Now, this is gross revenue, not profit margins. Now, it's also worth noting that this is all just speculation. No one really knows how much they truly make, but I'm familiar with the business model and competitive landscape that they compete in. So in my opinion, I believe that they are generating north of 5 million per drop. It could be 6 million, it could be 8 million, it could be 10 million. No one knows for sure. But with one drop every 6 to 7 weeks and millions of dollars in revenue generated per drop, it's safe to assume that these boys are banking heavy. Look at their lifestyle. Private jets, mansions, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Teslas, Rolexes, private chefs. Now, they won't admit it, and the correct move from a PR standpoint is to downplay the situation so as to not deter fans from future purchases.
Like, what's the biggest clothing check in a month you guys have cashed?
I don't think I can say it.
It's a lot?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. The thing is, though, that we're not, like, we're definitely not balling. It's fucking...
Meanwhile...
This lifestyle, coupled with the full send mantra and the over-the-top pranks, foreshadows their core target market, which they never deviate from. And this is important for all business owners. Know your audience and your target market, because you can't please everyone. So know exactly who you're marketing to and play to those strengths. Understanding exactly who they cater to and the influence that they possess sheds some insight into the partnerships and collaborations that have presented themselves to these otherwise YouTube rebels. Now, NELK's next big move, which they said they would announce on Monday, May 31st, 2021, which is just a few days from now at the time of this recording, May 27th. It could be one of many things. However, based on their business model, target market, and lifestyle, I predict that these boys will launch their own brand of alcoholic seltzer. or some form of liquor with NELK branding. Instead of drinking other brands that aren't sponsoring them and contributing to their bottom line, NELK could instead drink their own seltzer and prompt their audience to follow suit. And the profit margins on alcohol are extremely high, so it makes sense for them to try and pursue that. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough, but that's just my opinion. Hopefully this video sheds some insight into the inner workings of how to grow and develop a brand online and some of the different tactics and strategies that marketers use. Whether you do Amazon FBA or dropship, or you have a private label company or a clothing line or merchandise, or are an influencer that regards themselves as the product, you should always keep in mind who your target market is and ensure that all your initiatives are catered towards them. People make the mistake of trying to satisfy everyone and they stretch themselves out way too thin, and then they end up disappointing everybody. It doesn't meet the needs of the market. Guys, don't forget to leave a comment down below, share the video, like and subscribe. It helps my channel out quite a bit when you do so. To the next one.